Block want to put the Brewers on lockdown. It should be a great night. The Pirates want to provide some fireworks because they have fireworks afterward. It is the Bucks and the Brewers' first pitch straight ahead right here on Root Sports.
From Pittsburgh and PNC Park tonight, the Pittsburgh Pirates host the Milwaukee Brewers in the middle game of this three-game series as the opening homestand continues. Pirates winning last night and look to make it two straight over the Brew Crew. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk. Fireworks night tonight and some fireworks last night, Bob. The Pirates collecting 11 hits, beat the Brewers 6-3. And right in the middle of it all, they're two young corner outfielders, left fielder Starling Marte and right fielder Gregory Polanco.
You can really see from last night's ball game what an offensive force these two guys can be, and it can be different ways too. It can be with the bats, it can be with power, or also it can be with legs. And I thought that was very important with Polanco in last night's game. That he really could cause a little havoc out there on the base paths. They're throwing the ball around, and that's really how you're going to generate a lot of offense night to night. But you can hit some long balls too, and these guys got power.
Yeah, Polanco was 3 for 4, stolen base run scored. Marte 2 for 4. You mentioned that Polanco was running around all over the place. Marte also, and you also mentioned the power of that long home run to left center field.
Marte hit that real long home run up in Milwaukee. I was hoping that would get him going after that great spring. Well, maybe it's this home run over 450 feet that's going to make him explode, get his bat really swinging.
And the Pirates have won 3 of the first 4 meetings with the Milwaukee Brewers this season, and again they look to make it 2 straight. Starting pitching has been good for the Buccos. Tonight it's left-hander Jeff Locke. He looks to have this good starting pitching continue on a roll as the Buccos and Brewers play ball. Coming up next.
On Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. By Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. And by PNC Bank. for the achiever in you. Let's go, Bucks!
Beautiful night for baseball in Pittsburgh. Picture perfect with the two men that we talked about just moments ago, the corner outfielders Starling Marte and Gregory Polanco. The Pirates players going through their pregame routines, the handshakes. They're about ready to take the field in the meantime. Before they do, we'll get to Bob's Rivers Casino tips to win.
I think you have to be patient with Kyle Loesch. He's a pitcher that is really not a stuff guy, has good command, tries to stay on the edges and normally does, but he wants you to hit his pitch. He doesn't ever want to give you anything to hit. You got to be patient. You've got to make sure he is on the plate. Don't swing at anything he wants you to go after. And we've had so many good starts here during this homestand. It'd be great to get another quality start tonight, and I really believe that Jeff Locke will be up to that task.
And he leads the Buccos onto the field and heading out to right field. Gregory Polanco, his 10th start, and this the team's 11th game of the year. 23-year-old Gregory Polanco heads out to right. Following him right out there. Great shot. Polanco waving to folks above the Clemente wall. That's a neat look. Look at the lineups for the Milwaukee Brewers. And brought to you by Honda, Ryan Braun leads off for the first time in his major league career. Gene Segura next, and Jonathan Lucroy playing first base tonight. Chris Davis bats cleanup. Aramis Ramirez at third base. Hector Gomez had a couple of big games last weekend against the Pirates. He gets to start at second. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Left-handed hitting Logan Schaefer in center. And Kyle Loesch on the mound for Milwaukee. Ryan Braun.
Right now, Greg, he's just not the player that he was 2 or 3 years ago. If he was still that feared guy, you would put him right now. You throw him behind Lucroy, try to get Lucroy going, and try to give Lucroy some protection. But he's not that guy.
Ron Renicky trying to shake up this offense.
And knock on wood when I say Braun's not that guy too. We're going to take a look, see what Jeff did in that first start. The thing I like the best about it is the 6 innings. He only walked one. I think that's always one of the most important things with Jeff is does he have that control, and he certainly did up in Milwaukee. Did a good job going to both sides of the plate, keeping everybody honest with some inside fastballs.
Defense behind him, familiar names out there with Andrew McCutchen in center, Gregory Polanco in right, Starling Marte in left. Josh Harrison, Pedro Alvarez on the corners, Jordy Mercer, Neil Walker up the middle, Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. Our Honda defense, and Starling Marte out in left. Neil Walker had last night off, which meant that he had back-to-back days off, with the team having the off day on Thursday, so he should be fresh and ready to go. And here is Ryan Braun. First pitch is high, ball one. 9th season in the big leagues for Braun, and his first game ever leading off. Carlos Gomez is on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last Friday night at Miller Park, Locke went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 7 hits. Braun was 1 for 3 against him. Two and one.
You know, a lot of this might be an effort to try and get Braun some better pitches to hit by getting up there at the top.
Two and two.
That could also be a little reason for this to get his bat going, putting him at the top of the lineup, and you don't want a walk in front of the other guys. So see more strikes perhaps.
What a base hit for him. Leadoff single for Ryan Braun.
Not really a bad pitch. I think that Jeff put this fastball where he needs to on right-handers, at least occasionally, go up and in. It did get in on him a little bit. I think that was just above the label. Braun fighting it off, just pushing it out towards center field.
Jeff Locke, 27 years old, faces Gene Segura. .333. 2 for 5 last night. Ball 1. Segura had a couple of hits against Locke last Friday night. Chris Davis, Adam Lind, and Gene Segura had 6 of the 7 hits against Jeff Locke. Lind is not in the lineup tonight. Falls behind Segura 2-0. Jeff Locke went 7-6 last year with a .391 ERA in 21 starts. Former draft pick of the Atlanta Braves, second rounder back in 2006. And to the right side and a base hit. And Braun will head to third. Polanco's throw to third base is off the mark, and it'll be second and third and nobody out. Well, the Brewers.
See Polanco's reaction? He's upset. He knows he did something wrong. Watch how high this throw is going into third base. There's no cutoff man. Segura, as soon as he sees that right there, now he sees the ball go high, sees the trajectory, and knows he can just go into second now without a play. You lose the double play situation, and now there's 2 minutes scoring position.
And Jonathan Lucroy playing first base tonight for the Brewers. Chance to give them the early lead with the infield back.
Sometimes guys with a good arm just they don't know when to, okay, got to take our medicine here.
Even guys with great arms. We saw in Philadelphia, help me out, Bob, right fielder, veteran, great arm, right field.
Time frame.
Jeff Francoeur.
Okay. Recently.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The 2 exhibition games in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean he's got the rep of being one of the best throwers in the league, and he just wasn't smart. He made bad decisions on where to throw the ball.
One ball, one strike on Jonathan Lucroy. Now 2-1. Lucroy with 5 hits and 35 at bats. It's a 143 average. Jeff Locke, 3-2 lifetime and 8 career starts against Milwaukee. Falls behind 2-1 with Braun and Segura aboard and no one out. And in the air toward right center field. Should be plenty deep to get the run home, and Polanco guns it toward third. It is 1-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, pretty good approaches the Milwaukee hitters have had at the plate the last 2. You had Segura taking advantage of the infield playing him up the middle. He went the opposite direction with the ground ball, and here Lucroy, he's trying to get a ball to the outfield, so he really commits going the other direction. Gets it out there deep enough to get a run home. Good job that time by Polanco, by the way. Not trying to make a Superman throw to the plate, just get that ball, got a little momentum going toward third, put a strong throw into third base, and making sure Segura doesn't get over there with 1 out. That was a heady play that time.
Here's Chris Davis. He's reached base safely in his 9 starts. 3 hits last night. Strike 1. Talking with Francisco Cervelli before the game about these Pirates pitchers, and in particular Jeff Locke. What do you like about Jeff Locke? Well, he doesn't throw a 95, but he's not afraid to come in. He goes away off speed. And he said, really, that's kind of the way it is with the entire Pirates pitching staff. There's a lot of credit to Ray Searage. This Pirates pitching staff has done excellent work early going through the first 10 Pirates games. And dancing off second base, Segura. Walker goes over to cover second, and Locke steps off the rubber.
A good job by Locke. It gave him a little double look. Saw him starting to get off there. So just kill the play. Step off the rubber. Everybody has to go back.
Big cut and a miss and a strikeout of Davis. And a big second out for Locke. He can hold the Brewers to 1 run. Be a little mini victory for him.
Take another look at this. A curveball or a changeup? I think that was curveball. What do you think, Rick?
Looked like a curveball.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little short, though. It didn't break a whole lot. But it was going down and in. Maybe it's a cut changeup.
He's starting to throw that now.
No, that would be a new pitch.
Yeah.
Nobody throws a cut changeup.
He's starting to.
Everybody's looking for something new. That might be the new thing.
Cut change.
Cut change. That looked like a cut change right there.
Well, you know it's going to be. I guarantee in the next few weeks we're going to start hearing pitchers say, "I'm starting to throw this cut change now."
Tried to look at the grip. I wasn't sure if that was his cut change grip.
0-1 on Ramirez. 0 for 4 last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the 36-year-old Aramis Ramirez, calling it quits after this year.
Really fantastic career for Aramis. Really put up some excellent numbers.
Now ball deep short. Mercer on to first, so Jeff Locke does indeed hold the Brewers to that 1 run. And the Bucks come to bat. Toyota starting lineup for Pittsburgh. Josh Harrison will be coming to the plate. Gregory Polanco will follow. Andrew McCutchen in the familiar 3rd spot of the order. Hit cleanup last night. Neil Walker back in the lineup. Hits 4th. Then Starling Marte, Pedro Alvarez, Francisco Cervelli will bat 7th. Jordy Mercer, Jeff Locke follow.
Take a look at Loesch's numbers on the year. They're not really pretty right now. If you look at his career stats, normally he's a pretty quick starter. Likes the month of April, but this year he's getting knocked around a little bit. Not really a hard thrower. He won't give you much velocity. He has got to hit his spots with a variety of pitches. That's the basic 4.
Pirates faced him last Sunday Scored 4 runs in 6 1/3 innings, collected 8 hits off of Kyle Loesch, 36-year-old from Chico, California. Casey Sadler won that ball game.
Chico, that's up by Willows, isn't it?
It is by Willows, right? Yeah. You had some buddies up that way, right?
Yeah, that's why I know exactly where Chico is. It's northern part of the state.
It was right by Bear Park.
Yeah,
I love that area.
Yeah, beautiful there.
Yeah.
A little dry right now, though.
Yeah, it is. Talking to my buddies back there. 2-1. Foul out of play. 2-2. I think former Pirate Pat Clements is from Chico, California.
Could be.
Did you ever talk to him about that? No?
No, I didn't know he was from Chico.
I think so. 2-2 on Josh Harrison. And up the middle, a base hit to start the bottom of the first. Jay Hay with his second hit in 12 at-bats against the Brewers.
Now you love to answer when you give one up early. How to get that one on the ground? That ball's up and away. Got up on top of it and hit back to the middle. Not happy. You hate those ground balls that go right over the mound.
Feel like you should be able to flag them down.
You should do something. At one point, they're just inches away from you, and you can't do anything about it.
Now Polanco. It's this ball toward left field, toward the gap in left center field. Line drive, Kepper. Josh Harrison will score. 2 batters into the game. It's tied. El Cafe, who had a big part of the offense last night, right back at it tonight.
The early answer. That's what you're looking for. This is one of the things that Polanco does so well. He takes the outside pitch and will go with it, drive it hard the other direction. This fastball is even off the plate, maybe about a half an inch or so. And he doesn't go out there and try to hook it and put it on the ground, drives it hard into that big gap, way out in the notch. Of course, Jay Hay with his speed scores without even a look.
A little high stepping for Jay Hay. Now Andrew McCutchen. That woke up everybody. That line shot that scooted past Chris Davis. Already 4 doubles for Polanco. Picks up his 3rd RBI. The young season. Ball 1 strike. Barrel league leaders. Check out all-time leaders in RBIs at PNC Park. Andrew McCutchen passed Jason Bay with the RBI last night, wanted a sole possession of first place all-time. He's 1 back of Bay in the home run department. Bay hit 61 home runs here at PNC Park. McCutchen with 60 career homers here.
Well, let's hope that Kutch eventually sets numbers that no one gets for a long, long time. Certainly has that ability. Just got to stay healthy.
A 3-1 on McCutchen, a .318 career hitter against Kyle Loesch.
Hey, that pitch right there, that's what I mean by stay patient. You know, that's what Loesch wants you to do. Even though he's behind in the count, he's not just trying to throw a strike. He's still trying to just throw one a little away and get that chase, or better yet, get you to hit a ball off the end of the bat fair to get an easy out. McCutchen said no. And no again.
Well, Loesch did not walk a batter in his start against the Pirates last Sunday in 6 1/3. He's given up a single to center, a double to the left center gap, and a walk. 11-4 lifetime against Pittsburgh. Neil Walker .229 average, a homer, 4 RBIs, and a .306 career hitter against Loesch. Well, 11-4 mark, second among active pitchers in terms of winning percentage against the Pirates. Jason Marquis, .733 winning percentage, matches Loesch. Johnny Cueto an .818 winning percentage versus Pittsburgh. It's 1 ball and 1 strike now on Walker.
This could be a big at bat right here for both clubs. And if Walker gets a big hit right here, then you're looking at a nice crooked number, maybe a big one up in that first inning. And right now Loesch is saying, please get me a ground ball. Let's nip this in the bud with a double play. So you got both ends of that 60 feet 6 inches right now, probably feeling it. Patience. That can come to you.
We talked a lot about that last night. Jeff Branson's quote, the Pirates coming into last night had been in a hurry to hit, weren't ready to hit. Well, they were ready last night, and early on they've been ready here against Loesch. Two and two.
Big pitch. Maybe a little overaction on that 2-1 pitch. That was another one of those situations where he didn't want to throw a strike. He threw it out of the strike zone, but he did get a swing and a miss on it.
Bounced right side. This will move the runners up 90 feet. And second and third, one out.
Yeah, a little bit of a positive for both clubs there. Walker able to move guys up into scoring position now, so a single. And we got a 3-run inning at least. But then in Loesch's mind, he's thinking, oh, I finally got an out. Now maybe I got something I can build on a little.
We'll see how Loesch faces Marte, how patient Marte can be. 2 for 4 last night with a home run.
That really was the big difference in his second half last year, I think, Greg, was that he became a very patient hitter. He stopped swinging at many bad pitches.
There's a line drive to left center field, a base hit. Rick Sofield is going to wave home both. Racing toward the plate, McCutchen. They'll never get him. And there's a 2-run single for Marte and a 3-1 Pirates lead in the first.
I thought that was a great read by McCutchen coming off second base. Even though there was one out, he didn't wait for that to hit the grass. He knew that nobody's going to catch that ball. He saw the trajectory on it, knew where the outfielders were, so he is off and gone. And that allowed Sofield just to say, yeah, keep going. There's one out, but who cares? Go ahead and score. Great jump off second. You're going to make it easy.
By the way, McCutchen takes off.
See the little, almost like a delay steal. He took a couple of hops, and then he decided, okay, they can't catch that. I'm gone. It's almost like they know Marte has got to run. He's going to steal. It's like Marte has become one of those guys going to run every time he gets on first. But if he's going to put up that big time number, if he's going to push over 50, he's got to do that. He's got to be aggressive out there. And he's so successful that the Pirates are just, yeah, go ahead, get to second base. Every time you get to first, it's like a double. Occasionally he will be thrown out there, but you got to let him run. He is one of the best in the league.
Alvarez swings at the off-speed pitch.
Low, real quick, shallow leg kick, trying to get that ball out of his hand, going toward home plate as quick as he can.
Alvarez 1 for 3 last night, plus an intentional walk, an RBI single in the 8th inning, lined into a double play. One ball, one strike. Andrew McCutchen on a walk, following the Polanco double and scoring on the 2-run single by Marte. To get to Loesch early. They've scored 3. Backhand throw, and LaCroix was going to tag. He thought Marte was coming back to the bag, so he made a blind tag, phantom tag, because Marte had taken off for second. He gets whacked in the back by the throw from LaCroix.
It's not an easy throw to make, trying to get one by the runner like this. Never go back. Go ahead, take off. So what happened there is that the ball is bouncing in the dirt, and the Pirate runners have been taught when the ball bounces, 90% of the time, you're going to be able to move up. It's going to get away. This time it didn't. So Marte was kind of hung out to dry, but he decided to go for second base and made him play some defense, and they couldn't get it done.
And bounce to LaCroix for the second out. Marte to third. Second stolen base for Marte in the young season.
It's like Rick's fired up, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He always is.
He's screaming in his ear.
Marte's one of his
hand
special pupils. He's been around Marte a long time, going back to the minor leagues, so he expects a lot of Marte, knowing this guy's got a ton of talent. Now Cervelli with 2 outs. Pirates now with 19 runs scored against the Brewers in the last 3 games. Brewers come in 2-8. Pirates 4-6.
Nice going cycles, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When the Brewers first came into the National League, I think we kind of had the upper hand for at least the first year, maybe a year and a half or so. Yep. And then, as everybody knows, it seemed like we couldn't beat them no matter what happened. And now you can see it starting to turn a little bit. Last season and a half or so.
Well, back in 2008, the Brewers went 14-1 against the Pirates. They went 13-5 against Pittsburgh in 2010, 12-3 the following year.
And a lot of those games weren't really all that close, if I remember right. Especially the ones up in Miller Park.
A ball and 2 strikes on Cervelli. Two and 2. 36 years old, 6'2", 214 pounds. In his 3rd year with the Brewers. Signed as a free agent late in spring training 2013. Line foul. Cervelli 0 for 3 last night. Well, he was hit by a pitch leading off the 4th inning, and that led to the Pirates' first run that tied the game in the 4th. Went on to win the game 6-3.
I like watching his at-bats.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
They're a battle.
Yep.
Battle he doesn't always win, but you know he's going to have a quality at bat.
He is not going to give up on any pitch.
He's not going to take a lot of bad swings ever. That last pitch, for instance, it's bouncing in the dirt. Occasionally, you see just about all of our guys take a whack at that. I can't see Cervelli chasing too many pitches like that over the next 6 months. seems to have just too good of an idea about that strike zone.
Struck him out, but the Pirates score 3. Gregory Polanco's line double to left. Brought in Josh Harrison with the first run. And Sterling Marte a big 2-run single. Pirates take a 3-1 lead in the first. And tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Charlie Morton scheduled to make a rehab start today through a sim game instead. Some of the Yankees, they didn't bring enough players down there extended spring. So in the sim game, Charlie Morton threw 55 pitches. Pirates lead 3-1. Hector Gomez will lead off against Jeff Locke. Pinch hit line out last night for Hector Gomez. He made back-to-back starts against the Pirates last weekend after Scooter Gennett. A bad game a week ago Friday. Gomez started at second base on Saturday, had a couple of hits, a couple of ribbies. And last Sunday was 1 for 2 against Casey Sadler. And Locke out in front, 0-2. A significant first inning for the Pirates. First of all, coming into this game, they had scored a total of 1 run in the first inning. That was opening day against the Tigers, the home opener, Josh Harrison's home run. Scoring 3 first inning runs as Locke takes care of Hector Gomez, 2 strikeouts early going. We got Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, the first inning is usually one of your better innings. You have the lineup set up exactly how you want it for scoring a run. And there's a lot of starting pitchers that have a little problem in that first inning because of that.
Pirates hadn't scored, Bob.
It's odd that that's happened.
How about hadn't scored as many as 3 runs in the first inning since August 30th last year? That's how long it had been. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
0-1 on Maldonado.
You know what? With all the metrics there are in baseball now, I wonder if there's some way to track these innings not by what number it is on the scoreboard, first, second, third, fourth, but what player happens to lead off a certain inning. Like, what player leads off more big innings than anybody else? I mean, is that even a case? I don't know. But that would be an interesting thing to find out. Like,
who has the best leadoff inning of all of them?
Do more of our big innings come when Jordy Mercer leads off?
Yeah,
I don't know. It'd be curious.
And you see the patience. We talk about patience at the plate. There's a situation where a pitcher has to be just patient enough to wait till that ball comes down and turn and throw to first. Probably not easy to do, is it?
You absolutely hate this play. Right here, okay, here's an easy out, but is the ball ever going to come down? You're getting happy feet. You're kind of tapping on the ground.
Get it.
You're reaching as high as you can. Try to get the ball as early as you can. And then once it does hit your glove, you don't want to get in such a hurry after that you make a bad throw or you bobble the ball or anything. Now, a lot of times it's helpful if somebody away from the ball, the third baseman or somebody who can see where the runner is, lets you know, like, hey, you got time, take your time, take your time. Or the other side of the coin, if it's going to be close, go ahead and tell you got to hurry. You have to have a lot of talk going on out there on that field. Talked to Josh Harrison for a pregame radio, and I asked him about playing third base, and one of the things we got to, well, talk about it later, Greg.
1-2-3. Logan Schaefer bounces out. Nicely done by Jeff Locke.
All on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Malibu and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
It is 3-1 Buccos. Along the banks of the Allegheny, the Buccaneers taking on the Beer Makers. Game 2 of the series. Jordy Mercer, strike one. Two and one. Bucco Nation indeed. Out in full force tomorrow, Kids Sunday. Then Chris Bryant and the Chicago Cubs come to Pittsburgh for a 4-game series starting Monday night. 2-2. Lucroy, the first baseman tonight. One down. Chris Bryant got his first big league hit after going 0-for-4 in his debut against the Padres yesterday. Also walked 3 times today as the Cubs won in extra innings. Last night, 2 home runs for Mike Trout against the Astros, youngest player to record 100 homers and 100 steals at 23 years, 253 days. And Billy Hamilton left today's game in the 8th inning with a groin injury against the St. Louis Cardinals, the speedy Red center fielder. Cardinals won that game 5-3. Matt Holliday also leaving the game with an injury. Jeff Locke was 1-for-3 last weekend in his start.
I think Jeff is the starting pitcher right now that looks like he benefited the most from a lot of extra work in spring training and the hitting with the pitchers. Jay Hayes about to step up there. And I was talking about my discussion with him about defense, and I mentioned, well, it's not kind of like just the old days where you're just playing third, that you got to go over on those shifts and play second base back and forth from third back. And he said that the most important thing about that is the communication between all the infielders, but especially him and the shortstop, Mercer, that almost every single pitch you're constantly talking about different scenarios. If there's a runner on first, who's going to get the bag? If the ball's hit here, what are you going to do here? Because it's all new, and the talk, the communication is what gets them through those situations.
Line drive to right field, hit well, but right there is Braun, and the Pirates go down in order. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
Fireworks here, fireworks night on the North Shore. I'm Robbie Mikowski. This morning, the North Shore was a busy place, as well as the Pirates held their 5th annual Pirates 5K Home Run, presented by Allegheny Health Network. It started right there along Federal Street, made their way all the way around the North Shore. The 5K run, over 5,500 people competed. That's an all-time high, with the finish line happening right there along the infield dirt track, right around home plate where it all finished. The winner was Scott Denham, 26 years old, from Boardman, Ohio. And Greg, one Pete Toma raced in it as well with a nice finish. The director for our Pirate broadcast here on Root Sports, one of the many competitors, over 5,500. That's the highest attended run we've ever had in this run. And all the proceeds, of course, go to Pirates Charities. A fantastic cause and a fantastic morning.
What's a nice finish?
I don't know that I'm allowed to reveal that on the air. I have the details, but we're going to leave those. We're going to leave them where they are. Okay.
How about that? Nice finish. Bob, you don't seem a bit happy about this.
Well, I'm going to bring up that he ran. Let's say where he.
Otherwise,
finished.
don't bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
nice finish.
Yeah, he ran. Well, where'd he finish? My guess is we know why
that's our
the
guess.
finish wasn't let
and
out.
Also, the crickets in their headsets, by the way. We hear nothing from Toma. 27 minutes, 40 seconds, we're told. Tying his wife, Susie. Not bad.
She took it easy on it. My guess is she could have easily done a 20 flat.
Right. Ricky Saflinski. Alexis Club downstairs. Here's Ryan Braun. Single to start the game. One ball, one strike. Last 10 starts here at PNC Park. Jeff Locke, a strong 2.97 ERA. Into right field. Polanco. 2 outs. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Gene Segura.
You use the pitch tracking widget?
I don't use that. Do you use that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Love the widget. I was wondering what they were talking about when they're in school. They talked about the factory that builds widgets.
Yeah.
Now I know. I know what they are now.
The pitch tracking widgets. Bouncing ball just under the glove. The Pirates shortstop Jordy Mercer, and Gene Segura is 2 for 2. A ground single to right. His first time up, and here a ground single to left.
He's certainly a little bit of a bright spot for the Brewers. Was off to this very slow start of theirs.
Yeah, that's true after a really disappointing season for Gene Segura last year.
Yeah, this will be kind of like the year that I think he's got to like prove what kind of a player he's going to be. That first year he looked like he was going to be just maybe the best shortstop in the league for a while there. He looked great early on.
Takes off and he guesses right with a stolen base. His second steal.
He's running on first move, and you're just not going to throw him out. The only chance is if you were going to have a pickoff throw. But look at the jump. It's just incredible. The big leg kick takes so long to get the ball to the plate. Cervelli just has no chance. The only reason even to throw it down is some kind of a hope that maybe he'll overslide the bag, something will happen, and he'd get it out that way.
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that, Bob, because there are times when catchers just eat it, say, I forget, I got no chance. But you see the overslide so many times. Why not go ahead and throw it down there?
Well, that head first slide so
prevalent these days,
yeah,
right?
The guys just are doing it even when they got the bag easy, and it's a very easy slide to just go right over and not be able to keep that toe on the bag. A good location on that heater.
Who was it that couldn't stop the overslide of the puck? Was it Nigel Morgan?
Yes.
Who of course became a Brewer.
When you said that, I couldn't think of Nigel's name. All I could think of was Tony Plush.
Yep. His alter ego.
There's that spot I was talking about, that last fastball. Just pain on the corner.
In the dirt. Now Cervelli quickly to the ball. Guns to first, and with Lucroy running, gets him rather routinely. 4 strikeouts for Locke. the Penguins in the room. Here, new defenseman Ian Cole mic'd up as the Pens take on Arizona. See how Rick Tocchet helped get Evgeny Malkin and Patrick Hornquist get back into form, and much more in the room Monday after Pens postgame on Root Sports. UPMC scoreboard, 3-1 Pittsburgh leads it going to the bottom of the third inning. Gregory Polanco had that RBI double into the left center field gap his first time up.
Part of the recipe for a winning ball game is after you've had a little quick strike early, is you want to just add on one here and there now the rest of the game. It'd be a great inning just to even put up a single run right here. You do that a couple of times between now and say the 5th or 6th inning, it's depressing in that other dugout. We've fallen behind by a couple runs and now they're adding a little here, a little there, and it gives you the feeling like the game is slipping away. It's important to keep on it. Steve likes to say you got to brick a snake. Don't let him up. Steve doesn't like snakes, does he?
No.
You remember that snake at the mall in Montreal? You don't remember that?
No. Oh yeah, it wasn't a real. Was it real?
Yeah, it was a real snake. It was like at one of those little displays in the middle of the mall. Like
and all of a sudden he saw it.
And he went crazy.
Sprinted away from the snake. Lead off, free pass to Gregory Polanco, his second walk of the young season. And the second walk allowed by Loesch.
Kind of like me running from a spider.
Happy birthday, Mr. B. Birthday boy. Speaking of this day in history, our day automotive, this day in Pirates history. 1947, Pirates beat the Reds 12-11 in the home opener at Forbes Field. Bucks taking full advantage of the newly shortened left field at Forbes Field. They hit 3 homers, 2 by Wally Westlake. Bucks hit 5 long balls total. They had shortened that left field wall to help newly acquired Hank Greenberg. They called it Greenberg Gardens as they moved that left field in 30 feet to 330. Greenberg, 1 year with the Pirates before retiring, hit 25 home runs, 1947, but they just renamed it Kiner's Corner, as Ralph Kiner hit 51 home runs that year in 1947.
Well, forgive my ignorance, Craig, but this ball going to stay in there? Yes, it is. Did they move in the brick wall or just put something in front of the brick wall?
They put something in front of it, yeah.
They just made it to where you didn't have to hit it all the way over the wall down the line.
Now, of course, you and I weren't there. We'd have to ask the birthday boy what it looked like.
Oh, yeah. He would tell us. He said he used to hit them in there to BP. Back before they moved it in, it was kind of tough for him to get it over the fence. During batting practice, they moved that in. They built the gardens.
They renamed the team Blastus Bombers at that point. Speaking of birthdays, last night, Bern Leidinger, we failed to mention, happy birthday to Bern, 90 years old yesterday. She is the grandmother of Garrett Egan, our station WCBC in Cumberland.
So down the left field line here is kind of like a Kiner Corner.
Yeah.
The way it's angled in.
Yep.
Right down the line to give the hitters an easy home run if they pull it. You can see that angle where the fence is very deep in left field and then sharply comes in right to the foul pole.
Ball, 1 strike. Another birthday wish today, by the way. Happy birthday to Pete Diana. Pete DiPasquale. PDD. His wife Diane asked us to pass along happy birthday wish to Pete DePasquale. Been around the Pirates for a long time. Down ball right side. And 2 outs. Bring up Starling Marte with a runner at second and 2 outs. While we're doing the While We Have a Moment, so big hearty congratulations to Dennis Bowman, longtime meteorologist, KDK, 43 years on the air, retiring. I believe his last night tonight, or anyway this weekend. So congratulations, Dennis Bowman. It's been a good one and accurate all these many years. I like when he does the forecast before the ball games on the scoreboard. He says, "Arr."
Accuracy, very important in that job.
Yep.
It's kind of like pitching.
1-0 on Marte. Rolling. Segura the backhand. Throw to first base. Great play by Gene Segura.
Wow.
To barely get Starling Marte.
Didn't think there was going to be much of a shot at it, but he did it.
Gene Segura, he's looking toward the dugout. He's going to stop.
Slow walk.
Yeah, just to see if maybe they want to challenge this.
I think he's out.
Yeah, I do too. They're not going to challenge. It's going to be it. Great play by Segura.
He has a very large family, including a guy in Milwaukee, his Uncle John. Now, that's John Shelby right there, the Brewers outfield coach. Now, Shelby told me for Josh, it's extremely special for guys like him with one good season to get a long-term deal, and that the Pirates see in him what we've seen in him over the years. And you just see a tweet sent out by the Pirates Twitter account today. They spent some time together at batting practice. And get this, Greg and Bob, here's a cool story between Shelby and Harrison. Now, Shelby's sister is Josh's mom, Benita. And Shelby was telling me J.A. started teething at just a month old. Benita couldn't believe it. So what did Shelby do? He bought Josh his first toothbrush. It's a true story. Teething between a month and 2 months of age. He said, man, this kid started young, and he has never looked back since then. Hard-hitting journalism right there.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And two good guys you're looking at, by the way. John T-Bone Shelby, who was the Pirates' first base coach for a couple years. Not too long ago, the former Orioles and Dodgers outfielder, John Shelby.
I thought he was going to say bought him a glove to chew on.
Yeah, right.
Ball glove.
Darnell Cole's a former Pirate hitting coach now for these Brewers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chris Davis down on strikes. And let's go to the studio. State Farm Game Break and Paul Alexander. All right, Paul, thanks. That means the Cardinals improved to 7-3. Early going. Cincinnati Reds are now 5-6. That figures to be a... Oh, what a play by the ball girl! Oh, man!
That is new. Best in baseball.
How about that play?
They can pick
Great
it.
job.
They can pick it.
Look at this.
That's
Way to go, Heidi.
That's a bullet down there.
Another look. That's a great play by Heidi. Heidi Frankowitz. Well, how many texts and tweets is she going to get?
Should get a few.
Deserve them. Nicely done by Locke.
Seriously, though, we travel around all these different stadiums and we see all the
you're right
the
about
different
that.
people that are down the lines. They got the old guys in Frisco and stuff, but the young ladies here at PNC Park, they take the job seriously and they get it done like nobody else.
They can pick them. Blaze Laboon on the other foul line. Hector Gomez struck out his first time. 5 Ks for Locke. Third foul.
Didn't have a lot of strikeouts in that first game.
Routine there for Blaze Laboon. And spots the young fan, and a thank you from Dad. Bounce toward Harrison. Jeff Locke rolling here. 3-1 Bucks. Inside Pirates Baseball. This week we're taking you behind the scenes for an exclusive look at Andrew McCutcheon's off-season commercial shoot with Sony PlayStation. See that and more on Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, tonight after a postgame on Root Sports. 3-1 Pirates hanging out at Gunners Lounge on the club level, named after the former Pirates voice, Bob Prince. There's Pedro Alvarez, and strike one. Bounced to first baseman Jonathan Lucroy. Another birthday. All right. 7 years old, and that'd be a nice birthday present. Hit hard at Jonathan Lucroy. One out. Make your next group outing the event of the year at PNC Park. We put together a group of 15 or more and get special discounts. And find out how you can also receive one-of-a-kind experiences like getting access to the field here at PNC Park. Find out more. Go to pirates.com/groups or call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Here is Francisco Cervelli.
You can see a little frustration coming out of Pedro when he hit that ball. He grabbed his helmet and he knew he hit it hard, but right at Lucroy. Tried to hit it through the shift.
And a base hit the other way for Cervelli.
Told you, I always liked his bats.
Yeah, we kind of went away from it after his first inning at bat. We should get back to that.
Yeah.
That you really do enjoy his at bats.
Anytime you start praising somebody, it's a sheer pop-up, strikeout, something like that. So you just gotta enjoy it. Just watch. There'll be a hit that way.
Never praise anybody.
No praise. You're doing a good job tonight, though, Greg.
Bob, come on, that doesn't work in play-by-play. Come on, you know that. Here's Sean Rodriguez at the plate. I mean Jordy Mercer. This ball's bounced to short. 6-4 on the force.
Not going to get a double play on that one. One that hit very hard. Ball out away from Mercer, maybe even off the plate a little bit. He goes out and he tries to pull it, and that's when you roll your hands over and you put it on the ground.
Cervelli getting some props for going in real hard. Even Clint Hurdle turned and applauded as he went in hard to second base. You know that was fairly routine. Take nothing for granted.
Hey, you got to play the game the same way every time. And you don't know. You don't have eyes in the back of your head. You don't know. Maybe Mercer stumbled going down the line or something. You still have to try and break up that double play no matter what.
Second strikeout for Loge. Pirates still lead 3-1. The great play that Heidi Frankovitz made a moment ago on that foul ball. Pirates ball girl just saved a life. Bucks booth, Pirates ball girl year in and year out, always the best, period. That could be the best play I've seen a ball girl make. And let's go downstairs to Robbie and Smikowski with Heidi.
Yeah, I got Heidi here. 4th year as a ball girl here at PNC Park. Heidi, how do you describe how you were able to make that play?
Adrenaline. Just adrenaline pumping, definitely.
You took a quick step right and had to move left to catch it. How did you know you were even able to come down with it?
The ball sliced hard, so I was just hoping that I was reading the slice right, and got lucky on that one.
Now here's a cool thing, Greg. Her father is here, hanging out by himself just a couple rows back watching this game. What's this like to make maybe your best play with Dad here?
It feels awesome. It feels awesome to make him proud.
You haven't looked at your cell phone yet, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, you got to turn around and pay attention here. We don't want you to miss anything. How many messages do you think you got?
I have no idea.
Greg, Robbie, she's a softball player, right?
Yeah, you played at Gannon University, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Gannon University in Erie, PA. So the girl has some experience, Greg. She's legit.
Heck of a play.
Well, good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Greg?
Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, Heidi. Martin Maldonado, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is kind of cool. Her dad sitting right
Yeah,
there.
that's really cool.
Played the slice.
Yeah. In case you missed it, here's the play we're talking about.
All slicing hard back toward the stands.
Now, that is just a great play. That ball was smoked.
Yeah, that
A line drive.
Doesn't show how
No,
hard that
yeah, that's
ball
right. It
hit.
didn't do it justice, the slow-mo. And another strikeout for Jeff Locke. That makes 6.
I think there should be a skills competition at the All-Star game between the league's ball girls. What do you think?
I'm with you on that one.
Somebody's got to sponsor that, get it going.
Yep. Reason to smile, for sure. 1 out.
Don't lose your concentration.
That's right.
The lefty up.
Yep. Chopped over the mound. Shift on. 3 infielders on the right side. And that's Jody Mercer. And Jeff Locke has retired 14 of the last 15 Brewers batters.
He is really doing a good job. You remember that fastball that he threw to Braun to start the game, the base hit in on his hands? Well, even though that went for a base hit, that didn't faze him. He's thrown a bunch of good ones in there tonight, really keeping those right-hand hitters honest.
Goes back to what Cervelli was telling us before the game about Jeff Locke not throwing 95, but unafraid to go in.
You know, and we make comments like that, like Cervelli made. It's not like Locke doesn't have good stuff. I mean, he throws in the low 90s.
Right.
It's not like he's pitching 87, 88. He's throwing 91 up to 93 at times. It's just that he's the type of pitcher that relies a lot on that changeup and that sweeping curveball, and you have to open those pitches up to the outside part of the plate with right-hand hitters by placing that fastball on their hands at times. You got to speed up the bats so that your slow stuff can be more effective. By speed up the bats, I'm meaning not literally get their bat speed up, but make them commit to their swing earlier.
Trying to come back after falling behind 3-0 on his mound opponent, Kyle Loesch. Pop up to right. Jeff Locke. What a job through his 5 innings. Pirates up 3-1. Shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo as the Pirates lead 3-1. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning, top of the order, Josh Harrison. Great hat there. I love Kent Tekulve. Josh Harrison singled, leading off the bottom of the 1st, lined out to right his last time up. Bad looking swing and a miss. Jeff Locke and A.J. Burnett.
Reunited.
Yep.
Inseparable, always sitting together, always kind of called them, I think, Batman and Robin a few times.
They called themselves that.
Yep.
He'll pitch Monday night against Chris Bryant and the Chicago Cubs. Tomorrow afternoon, Kids Sunday. All kids will get the Andrew McCutchen Sox, and then 4 games with the Cubs, 3 night games, and a matinee game on Thursday afternoon.
Hey, Greg, while we got a moment, I'd like to say happy birthday. Since you're doing birthdays, I would like to say my granddaughter, Kylie, turned 9 today.
Oh.
And I think Kylie is at home listening.
And watching Grandpa.
Happy birthday, Kylie.
Happy birthday, Kylie.
This is a night of birthdays.
It is. Is she a Bucko fan, huh?
Oh, cool.
That's great. Big Neil Walker fan there. Stays 2-2 on Josh Harrison. Whoop. Who's got it? Yeah, she does. Maybe a Pirate ball girl someday.
Yeah, absolutely. It hit the catch right there with all the boys.
Yep.
She's the one that came away with it.
Another foul. Just getting a piece of it. Has pitched for a number of clubs in his big league career. Twins, Reds, Phillies, Cardinals, and his 3rd year with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Jay giving him a workout.
Yeah, he is.
Still haven't had any of those add-on runs. Start getting a little nervous when you sit on a lead like this.
High fly ball to left. Chris Davis makes the catch. Jay knows he just missed that one.
Just got under it a little too much. You got to be talking about a 1/4 inch where that ball hit the bat, from going out of here to just being a lazy fly ball. It's so close when you hit it up on the head of the bat, up on the sweet spot. Look at it.
Yeah. So close.
He is a competitor.
Well, Gregory Polanco. You look at his at-bats the last 2 or 3 games. Really starting to look, and it's a small sample size, but let's see if he's really starting to get comfortable and much more relaxed.
Well, I think we can use the same kind of measuring stick that we use on Marte. Is does he start having a real good feel for that strike zone and not swing at the pitcher's pitches, not try to chase everything. A lot of strikeouts on bad balls way out of the zone.
Rolls this one to second. Fly out to left and a ground ball to second. And as Andrew McCutchen comes to the plate, we remind you again, tomorrow all kids 14 and younger get a pair of Andrew McCutchen socks, compliments of Highmark. Come early for the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone out on Federal Street. After the game, kids are invited to stick around and run the bases, presented by the Original Pizza Logs. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. 1:35 first pitch. Tomorrow afternoon, Buccos Brewers. Garrett Cole against Matt Garza. Good pitching matchup as well. Count on McCutchen. Kyle Osh has given up 3 home runs his first 2 starts. And he walks McCutchen.
Hey, McCutchen certainly shown some patience. Not going out and hitting Loesch's pitch, swinging at what Loesch wants him to hit. He's saying, okay, if you won't give me anything to hit, I'll go ahead and take my base.
3rd walk drawn.
I mean, you can't do that. You can't go out there and get yourself out. Sometimes you just have to kind of say, hey, I'll just pass the baton to the guy behind me.
Pirates went 4 games without drawing a walk. Walker out of play. A couple of free passes drawn last night. One was intentional. Twice he's grounded to the right side of the infield, Neil Walker. Maldonado behind the plate in his 2nd start tonight. Ron Renicky keeps Jonathan Lucroy's bat in the lineup, even though he has struggled offensively in the early going. See a handful of teams do that with their starting catchers. Bruce Bochy does that with Buster Posey.
It's really a challenge when your catcher is one of your main offensive weapons. You like to give catchers regular time off, but what do you do with that bat? I guess it's maybe a little bit easier in the American League. You could perhaps let them DH, but always a tough thing to do. Figure out when you take that big bat out of your lineup just so you can have a day off on his knees, his legs.
And there was a shot toward the shortstop. If Segura fields that cleanly and keeps it in his glove, he's got a shot at Walker. He's already made one sparkling play tonight. That would have been sensational, but the ball does not stick in his glove. A base hit for Walker.
Take a look and see just what happened. It looked like he's got it. You know what happened there, Greg, maybe, is he knew that it was going to be iffy, so he got into a little bit of a rush. He solidly had the ball.
Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
He put his hand in the palm of his glove, and the ball looked like it was up in a web.
He robbed Marte of a hit in the 3rd inning. Marte singled in a pair of runs in the 1st inning. McCutchen and Walker on the bases with 2 outs. Maldonado wanted to gun towards second base, but Hector Gomez, the second baseman, did not move toward the bag. 1-1. And now they want to be sure. Maldonado will talk things over here with Loesch. What to do with Marte?
Hey, you would think you'd let the veteran Loesch have the final word there on what it is he wants to do.
Marte, all 6 of his early season RBIs have come against these Brewers. 5th game of the season series. Pirates trying to go 4-1 against Milwaukee. Toward left field. Starling Marte has done it again, clearing the deck with a cannonball. It is Marte time against the Brewers.
He's liking this Brewer pitching, playing long ball against him.
3-run homer. He has 5 RBIs tonight.
Well, it's been a slow start with the batting average, even though we're not really that deep into the season, but you just wonder what that home run total might be at the end of the year. He is really coming into his own. He's showing everybody the type of power that he does possess and what kind of a player is in there. All those tools that we talk about with him all the time, you're starting to see the long ball tool now. I mean, it's coming out, and it's so exciting to think what he might be capable of this year. Could be having another MVP type player on the same team with Kutch out in center field.
Career high 5 RBIs.
5 stakes.
And not done yet. Only the 5th inning.
Well, that's that adding on right there. That's a little more than necessary. Take that 3 spot, and now it's 6-1. You're in the second half of the game. Now everybody kind of let a little sigh of relief out there. You're not sitting on that 2-run lead again for the entire game.
Victor Alvarez does not agree with that call by Corey Blazer. He strikes out looking, but Starling Marte, 3-run homer, makes it 6-1. 3-run homer. It was a 2-run single in the first inning, contributing 5 to 6 runs tonight. Download the MLB.com ballpark app on your mobile phone. Check in next time you're here at PNC Park. Free app personalizes your PNC Park experience with check-in offers, rewards, social media, and exclusive team content. Download the ballpark app with Google Play or the App Store on your iPhone or Android. Ryan Braun has singled and flied out to right. And a base hit to right. Braun and Gene Segura own the 4 hits for the Brewers.
I've always felt Braun's been a decent hitter as far as going the other way, and it looked to me like he saw the infield open on that side, and he just decided, down by 5 runs, he's going to take a single. I'm a leadoff guy.
That's right.
So he just purposely hit a ball through the opening.
To the shortstop, Mercer. He'll take it himself. 2 outs.
Couldn't get any easier than that. This is pretty much home service. Hit nice and firm. Right to Mercer, and it's leading him right to the bag. He didn't have to do anything but put his foot down, and nice, easy toss to first.
Chick-fil-A double play.
Gives a little glove there, letting Walker know I got it. Tasty little double play.
Lucroy went, says Corey Blazer. 0-2. That'll get out of play and stay 0-2 on Lucroy. Last time out he struck out. Locke has fanned 6. His career high is 9 strikeouts. Just gets a piece of it. Lucroy finished 4th in MVP voting last year, behind Clayton Kershaw, Giancarlo Stanton, and Andrew McCutchen. This Brewers offense, though, has been struggling to hit and score, and they are without Carlos Gomez, their leadoff man, center fielder, so it won't get any easier for them. Gomez on the DL with a right hamstring strain. 2-2 on Lucroy. We talked last night about the Brewers' great start last year, but then the collapse in September. Bounce toward third. Harrison. Another 0 for Jeff Locke.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross, Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
Buccos leading 6-1 on the UPMC scoreboard, going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Flag waving Bucco fans on a Saturday night. Cervelli, we're seeing characteristics of Cervelli, and that is one. Anything that is anywhere close inside, he does this dramatic twist and turn. It's kind of his signature move. One ball, one strike.
You see one coming on the inside, you don't have to yell, look out every time.
Yeah.
Lock, getting ready.
Two and one. Cervelli grew up a fan of former big leaguer Melvin Mora, former Venezuelan. See the way he played tough. Like that about him. Double checking that. The home plate umpire.
It looks a little high, maybe. Take a look. Yeah, the first clue that might have been high was the way the ball was caught. See Maldonado catch it and then pull it down 6 inches. Well, why was he pulling it down 6 inches if it was a strike? I mean, he really jerked that one down a long ways after he caught it. I never really liked that, to be honest. That was a pet peeve of mine, catchers. That I didn't want a lot of movement.
Just leave it there, right?
I thought the more movement, the wilder it makes you look.
Cervelli goes down on strikes. Second time tonight that he has struck out against Loesch. 4 strikeouts total for Loesch.
The last 2 strikeouts, they're on me.
How good does that look?
You getting hungry?
Oh. Out of the Riverwalk.
Well, you can't find anything to eat around this place.
No. Mercer 0 for 2. He has grounded to first and bounced to short. Cooking it up on the grill.
It's like you do on your back deck, huh? Barbecue smoke going.
Line drive, one hop shot. Nice play, Hector Gomez. Two away.
You got to tell yourself that when you hit a ball this hard off the bat, most of the time you're going to get a hit. You can't do anything about it. You know, that's another thing with all these new tracking tools that are coming into baseball. You know, at what point, what velocity does the ball come off the bat where there's a big jump and most of the time that's a base hit? 80 mile an hour, 90 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour. All kinds of new, all old questions will be answered. People like me always say, you know, you center the ball up most of the time over the course of the year, you're going to get hits. Was that really true? We'll see. Is there really a correlation between the velocity of the baseball and coming off the bat and base hits.
Well, they certainly have they're tracking line drives now. I mean, they do track that.
But I'm talking about the speed of the baseball coming off the bat. They're going to tell us that.
Right.
They're going to tell us the speed of the runner going down the line. In this case, probably wasn't all that fast.
Blanco contributing to this 6-1 lead. And of course, Starling Marte, 5 of the 6 runs have been driven in by the Pirates left fielder. That's a Pirate fan. Decked out. And loving Jeff Locke's outing tonight. He's retired 17 of the last 19 that he's faced. 4, 5, 6 in the order for Milwaukee. He has struck out Chris Davis both times. Ball, 1 strike on the Brewers left fielder. Not happy, so he walks out. It's going to be interesting to see what.
Might get a letter about that.
Oh yeah, they're getting letters now, but starting May the 1st, they'll get fined. So
now you can walk out. You foul the ball off.
It is going to be interesting to see what impact the fines. It won't have any impact on guys, obviously, like David Ortiz, but for younger players, you wonder.
How much are the fines?
I don't think they started 100, go up to, incrementally.
We'll see what happens.
Two and 2. Mercer. 1 out. Here comes Aramis Ramirez. And Bob, you've got a package for us.
Well, I wanted to show everybody at home kind of what the Pirates look at and why they decide to play guys in certain places. This is Aramis' spray chart against left-hand pitching. Most of the balls he hits on the ground, you can say, are over on that left side for sure. So it just makes sense to go ahead and play the shift over there. And there's no reason to play more than one guy on the right side. And so what did he do the first 2 times up? He hit the ball on the ground in between the second base and third base bats. That's where most of them are hit. So put 3 guys over there. There's where they are now. Now, Aramis is one of those rare guys that can hit a ground ball to the second base. He will do that occasionally. But for the most part, if he's just playing it straight, he's going to pull the ball on the ground against a lefty if he puts it on the ground.
I'd been wondering it for a long time why there's shifting. This is before the recent overshifting, but we saw left-handed pull. But rarely did we ever see 3 guys on the left side of the infield. No one could ever explain that to me.
There it is, Greg. Spray chart. Now you know.
You didn't have the spray chart when I asked you that 4 years ago.
No. You know what the spray chart used to be? Spray chart used to be a
Charlie Muse
piece of paper with like ink line.
Remember Charlie Muse, right? Charlie Muse was the Pirates' traveling secretary.
Somebody, okay,
he'd have different colored pens, and he'd sit up in the press box. Line drive right to Neil Walker.
Why was he there, Greg?
That's where Ramos Ramirez hits the ball.
Exactly. Spray chart.
But give Ron Renicky some credit, because he really kind of started this National League overshifting, especially with right-handed pull hitters.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I used to see this. Even you go back into the '60s. There were certain guys, not very many, but they would shift on them. But they're all lefties.
Right.
You never saw the first baseman left totally alone over on that side of the diamond until recently.
Yep. Ball 1 on Hector Gomez.
And they're doing it again. Everybody in the same place. Pull the ball on the ground.
No spray chart for Gomez?
This is how we used to make the spray charts. We would just draw them in like this. And then you'd show them to the manager and say, hey, look, this guy pulls the ball all over the place.
Now, do you think the spray charts are better now than they were back when you played?
You tell me. You just saw the old style.
I think they were great back then. Polanco, the line drive out, and 1, 2, 3 for Jeff Locke. I'm going to keep it right here for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Jeff Locke has retired 20 of the last 22 batters he's faced. Gave up that first inning run, and he has put up zeros since.
Spray chart, baby.
Spray chart Jeff, when they call him. The Pirates lead this ball game thanks to the RBIs from Starling Marte. 5 of the 6 runs. It is 6-1 Buccos.
Home on Root Sports as we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Giants off to a 3-9 start this year. Slow start. Of course, they're kind of used to that. They've lost 8 in a row. But getting those World Series rings tonight before the game. And Jeff Locke on the bench. Ray Searage checking in with him. Tyler Thornburg is the new Brewers pitcher. Luis Jimenez over at second base now.
With his great run of starting pitcher, just keeps on moving along. You see Thornburg's numbers. Jay Hayes kind of a little shoulder shake there.
It's not the Cervelli twist.
No, it's a shoulder shake.
Harrison has singled and scored, lined out to right and flied to left as Kyle Loesch gives up 6 runs in 6 innings. Jeff Locke retiring 20 of the last 22 batters he's faced. .89 pitches thrown.
No base on balls.
Line shot to the shortstop.
There's some balls getting hit right on the button at people last inning or so.
Even Harrison feels like it could be at least 3 for 4, if not 4 for 4. Base hit in the first inning, the line out, the ball that he just missed in the 5th inning on that fly out to left, and this line out to short. How much more I could do?
He's going to go find somebody to sit next to and talk some more on that subject.
How about right here? Got a seat for me?
Yeah,
move over.
Here we go.
Yep. Right between Sean and Jung Ho.
There we go.
Yep. Polanco chases 95 heat from Thornburg.
You know what he said right there? You know, I can have 4 hits tonight.
Yep. Tyler Thornburg in relief of Kyle Loesch. Bounces this ball to second. Jimenez. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Hutch's crew. Want a big hit from their man. Oh, I got a piece of it. And upstairs, and as he gets up, he kind of shakes his head.
Seems like Hutch is constantly being tested.
Yep.
The target is outside. Sometimes you see that if the catcher is set up on the inside corner. Normally, if you set up away, you kind of feel you're safe. I don't see a mistake made by that, the distance. Now didn't Hutch get on with 2 outs last time up?
Yep.
And it led to 3 runs.
Walker, a couple of ground outs and an infield single. Stays 0-2.
Throwing a pretty good fastball tonight. Right at 95. A little above the belt. Tough one to catch up to.
Houston, Texas native Tyler Thornburg.
Guys from Texas all throw hard.
Yeah. Thornburg gets Neil Walker, and we'll go to the 8th. 6-1 Pittsburgh. Danger, and it's starting pitcher Jeff Locke who gave up that first inning run, and he's just been dealing since.
Absolutely a fantastic game. His command of all of his pitches, the curveball, changeup, fastball, could not be better than they are tonight. He can do anything he wants with them right now. And he's getting some strikeouts and keeping the pitch count down at the same time. That sometimes gets you in a little bit of trouble. If you start to have a decent strikeout game, then you come out early because to strike guys out, you usually have to throw more pitches, but that's not even a problem. He is tossing a gem right now.
Team Maldonado 0 for 2. Has bounced back to the mound and struck out. Maldonado, who served a 5-game suspension last year at the benches clearing brawl right here at PNC Park that occurred on April the 20th. He sucker punched Travis Snyder. Garrett Cole gave up a triple to Carlos Gomez, and didn't like the way Gomez kind of watched it. As Gomez was heading into third base, Cole said something to him. Gomez got up, started barking back. Both benches empty. Pitches by inning tonight for Locke.
Pretty consistent.
This will be his 4th pitch this inning. Oh boy.
Almost. just an inch or so.
He's not had many of these even.
Yeah, don't do it now, because there are Pirate pitchers loosening up.
Right side, Alvarez way to his right, and look at that feed. Nicely done. Alvarez backing up. A perfect strike to Jeff Locke.
This is not an easy play for either the pitcher or the first baseman. Alvarez, because of the shift, because of the spray chart, he's over there on an island by himself. He has to go way to his right over in second base territory, and as he's backing up, give Locke a perfect feed so he can get to the base. Nice job. Beautifully done.
I'm starting to feel like Alvarez is almost liking first base.
He's going to be a good first baseman.
I mean, actually, I think he's
I
accepted it more now.
I've talked to him, and he kind of doesn't make a big deal out of it, but there's action over there all the time. There's something to do. It's for a lack of a better word, a fun place to play on the field. You're always going to be involved. Even balls that hit to the outfield, you're the main cutoff guy. You're the guy that goes in the middle of the diamond and that might have to cut off the ball and throw to second base.
Up toward left, Marte doesn't have to move a whole heck of a lot. 2 outs. Jason Rogers pinch hitting for Logan Schaefer is retired.
They didn't want Locke to have that base on balls lead the inning off, because something like that, instant red flag goes up, and your pitcher coach, your manager think, okay, he's maybe fatiguing a little bit. You got to maintain that control for the 9 innings if you want that complete game. I don't know if they're going to let him have it or not, since he's going to be at 100 pitches after 8 innings.
Fly ball hit deep to left center field. Deepest part of the yard, and that helps. As Marte makes the catch, and for the 4th time in Jeff Locke's career, he's pitched 8 innings. 6-1 Pirates. Elwood. Last night, Starling Marte, 451 feet. This home run off Jonathan Broxton. And tonight, this home run off Kyle Loesch in the 5th inning. Back-to-back games, home runs for Starling Marte. Hasn't done that since May of 2013. Now he faces Tyler Thornburg. Gerardo Parra takes over in center. Locke came back to the dugout. The skipper, Clint Hurdle, congratulates him. The hug. And that'll do it for Locke. 8 innings of work. Excellent work tonight. Retiring 23 of the last 25 and no walks.
You can see the look on Jeff's face too. He wanted to finish this game, but that's not part of modern baseball. It doesn't happen very often. And
Batman and Robin.
Robin showed the way tonight.
Yep.
Holy command. Come here, Greg.
Felt the need. Bounced to short. 6-3. Brings up Pedro Alvarez. Felt like Jim Leland there just now.
The other night?
Yeah, the other night at the banquet honoring Steve Blass as the Myron Cope Legends in Sports Award, and all the broadcasters there, and Jim Leland. Leland telling the story about Bob Walk and coming in from the rain, and I don't know what year that was, but from that moment on.
That'd been 86. That was
1986. He said, all my years, went through all the years of managing the Pirates, the Rockies, the Marlins, and the Tigers. Bob Walk is my favorite player. And then Bob, who was not seated at the dais, he was seated at a little card table up front.
I was at the kids' table.
Yeah, you're at the kids' table. Came all the way around, went back up, went onto the stage, and gave Jim the big hug.
That was a hugging moment.
Yep. 0-2 on Alvarez.
I think one of the things that I kind of like about that, I've heard him mention this before years ago, is that he considered me a player and not just a pitcher. And I think a lot of pitchers aren't viewed that way, as players. Maybe that's one of the things why I have a problem with the DH. Is I have always thought pitchers are players too, and they should be viewed that way.
Count on Alvarez.
Got a player going tomorrow for us.
Alvarez hitless in 4 at-bats. The Nissan road ahead. Garrett Cole, that player, against Matt Garza. Coverage gets underway at 1 o'clock. On a Kids Sunday here at PNC Park. Hope you'll make your way out to the ballpark to see Garrett Cole face off against Matt Garza. What a start opening day here against the Tigers for Cole on Monday. Cervelli 1 for 3. And make it 2 for 4. Loves to play the game. 2-out single off Tyler Thornburg. Francisco Cervelli. Downstairs.
Yeah, that ball was not far off the ground. About ankle high.
Talking to Cervelli today about a bunch of things regarding the pitching staff, but also about his mindset, and talking about how Melvin Moore was one of his heroes in Venezuela, and Derek Jeter, of course, when he got into the Yankees organization. He said last year he had dinner with Jeremy Roenick, the former star center for the Blackhawks and Flyers and Coyotes, and he said he was down in the dumps about saying that. Roenick said, how many big league catchers are there? How many? Yeah, you're one of how many? And he said about 60. He said, you're probably one of the top half in terms of better catchers. Yeah, think about that. in all the world, you're one of the top maybe 20, 30, say, at your position. It's a very meaningful moment. Dinner with Jeremy Roenick as we're in hockey playoff season. By the way, the Pens were trailing the Rangers after a period. Last glance, 1-0. Game 2.
Yeah, the psychology of sports is just an amazing thing to think about. It's so important, the perception that you have of yourself, the confidence that you have of yourself. It plays such a big part in how you perform on the field or on the ice or anything. It just
confidence.
It's as much a mind game as anything else. If you have some physical tools, I mean, you have to have the basic ingredients, but then it all becomes, you know, the stuff up there between your two ears. Having the confidence, having the smarts.
Foul. Speaking of hockey, Pens head back home to host the Rangers Game 3 of their first round series on Monday night. And we'll bring you all the action from Consol Energy Center starting at 6. Special 1-hour pregame on Root Sports. Pens and the Rangers here in Pittsburgh on Monday night. That'll be a radio-only game for the Pirates and the Cubbies. As we said, we hope that you'll come on out to the ballpark. See A.J. Burnett as this pitch well in front of the plate bounces past Maldonado, allowing Cervelli to move into scoring position.
That was about 2 feet in front of home plate. Maldonado didn't have a chance.
Mercer aboard. Jody Mercer reaches, so Jung Ho Kang will get an at bat. Kang had a pinch hit on Monday, the home opener, in the 8th inning and grounded out. This was his second home appearance. He bats for Jeff Locke.
And having to adjust to a much different role than what he is used to. Not getting regular at bats. There's 9 ABs to this point.
A star in South Korea. Several years, Korean baseball organization. Bounces this ball foul. Clint Hurdle's talked about not only adjusting to not playing every day, and also they're trying to get him to cut back on the big leg kick. He still has it until 2 strikes. They're really trying to get him to cut back on that leg kick that he's used throughout his professional career. Ball, 1 strike. Jung Ho Kang.
Kind of brings the leg up, and there's almost like a little pause at the top. And the whole deal about that is you got to get it back down on the ground to give you a base to swing from. So your timing is much easier thrown off when you have all that movement and the big leg kick. Not that some guys can't do it. I've seen real successful hitters have big leg kicks, but it just makes it a little more difficult, I think. They like to simplify wind-ups, everything as much as they can so that there's less to go wrong.
Well, now here's 2 strikes. We'll see if he cuts back on it at all. That's got to be hard to do. You've been doing it your whole life, right? And all of a sudden try and cut back with 2 strikes.
How the knee comes up to about waist level, and then it just pauses just for a moment and then swings forward. no leg kick.
He's gone from, talk about extremes. He flies out to left. So Gong, the pinch hitter, flies out, and 3 more outs to get.
By the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Here at PNC Park, the Pirates lead the Brewers 6-1. Looking to make it 2 straight over their National League Central Division rivals. Jeff Locke, outstanding work. In line to go 2-0 in his first 2 starts. As tonight he went 8 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 hits. That run came in the first inning. Sean Rodriguez takes over at first base for Pedro Alvarez. He'll bat in the Alvarez 6th spot. And Arquimedes Caminero, a hard-throwing right-hander, makes his 6th appearance for the Pirates. And he faces Ryan Braun.
And he has definitely been hard-throwing. He's gone up there as hard as...
That is payback. And the warning for the benches, but Caminero got the job done. Andrew McCutchen was hit on the left shoulder near the neck. And Caminero gets Ryan Braun, their star.
I was just about to say, he's been up to 101 mile an hour. This is the last guy you want to go back at you. And that right on the side of the kneecap, man, that's got to sting. I didn't catch the velocity on that, but I guarantee it was substantial.
97 miles per hour.
Caminero could be a little wild.
Yeah. It's been his history.
Yep.
Now that's interesting, throwing to first in a 6-1 lead in the 9th inning. Gene Segura at the plate, 2 for 3. So Andrew McCutchen again was hit a couple of innings back, and Caminero, first pitch, delivers some payback to Ryan Braun and the Brewers. And both benches warned. And that should be the end of it. Not sure what that was about. Corey Blazer going out the dust off home plate. Usually, more often than not, in that situation, it's to deliver a message to the catcher. 0-2.
Yeah, I like the fact too, Greg. If that was a message, there was no messing around upstairs by the head or anything like that. You're a hard thrower.
Yep.
Go ahead and sting somebody down on their leg, and
that's that.
It's done with.
Yep, that's that. Roller to Sean Rodriguez to second for one. They will not get two. One out. Rodriguez to Mercer. Garrett Cole takes the mound for the Pirates. Their final game of this series tomorrow afternoon. Catch all the action between the Pirates and Brew Crew tomorrow starting at 1. Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason on Root Sports. There have been some reclamation projects in a few seasons that Ray Searage has been the pitching coach, where he's really helped to a degree turn careers around.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever had the raw materials that he has here with Caminero.
This one
this
here.
Is an arm here.
Yeah, this is something special. There's 100.
100 miles an hour with that fastball.
And he's thrown hard, of course, throughout his professional career, but the control has been an issue almost every season, going back to his Dominican Summer League years with the Marlins. Caminero, who didn't start playing baseball until the age of 15, Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. Acquired by the Pirates in February for cash considerations.
It's got to be a little unusual. Baseball is a lifestyle down there. They're not to play until he was 15.
And blows that one past Lucroy.
99.
We have wondered whether, as the season goes on here at PNC Park, and the more people get to know Caminero, will this place react like Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati when the lefty Aroldis Chapman comes out and touches 100 plus on the scoreboard. And everybody up now, 1 out away from making it 2 straight over the Brewers. Here's Chris Davis. Davis struck out twice and bounced out against Jeff Locke. 33,951 on hand. Runner will take second, uncontested. No stolen base.
Another one at 100. No reaction.
Nothing.
You know, I almost kind of like that a little bit, though. It's like you're saying, hey, that's what he does. So I get excited about something that's routine for him.
Look at that, yeah. Double barrel. He was imitating the home plate umpire there, Corey Blazer.
A little cutter there, maybe, a slider.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Also throws a splitter. That could have been a splitter.
Now he's ready. He's got him in his sights. He's ready to end this maybe with a punch out. 2-2 count. Fly ball toward Polanco, but it's going to be out of play. Caminero appeared in 6 games for the Marlins last season. 2 years ago, made 13 appearances. And that has been it in terms of his major league experience. He had not gotten above Double-A through his first 8 or 9 years in pro ball. Hosted last year at AAA New Orleans. 99, Davis fouls it back.
You know, I'm glad that he's throwing strikes.
Yep.
But I think, like in this instance right here, if he had the command where he could elevate when he wants to. All of his fastballs at this point have been pretty much down in the strike zone. If he could throw one up at the top part of that strike zone at 99, 100 miles an hour.
And a line drive base hit into left field will score a run.
Off speed pitch.
6-2.
Not sure whether that's splitter or slider, but not the fastball, obviously, at 91.
Segura scores to make it 6-2.
So here's the thing, too, Greg. When your fastball is being fouled off constantly in foul territory to the right side, if you throw something slower now on the plate for a strike, they're going to be right on time with that. And that's what happened right there.
In on him, popped it up. This will be out of play.
That's the pitch I'm talking about. You elevate a little bit, they're not going to be able to ever catch up to that.
Well, you and I have been talking about this going back to spring training even, and we were talking about Aroldis Chapman and wondering the difference between why Chapman rarely gets any foul balls, those fastballs. Maybe is it the elevation too? But obviously left-handed.
I think he's got pretty good command. Yeah. He goes up and down.
Because they'll foul off the 99, 100-mile-an-hour pitches. They're breaking. Oh, that was a fastball. It looked like the ball was moving down and away. 0-2. On Aramis Ramirez, the runner takes second. Again, no steal. Defensive indifference. Raise the Jolly Roger. There's one upstairs.
Exactly. That's where you want it, top of the strike zone. That's where you get your swings and misses on that 100-mile-an-hour heater.
Heck of a game tonight for the Pirates. Heck of a series so far. Starling Marte, career high, 5 RBIs. Jeff Locke, tremendous start, 2-0.
Yeah, two things tonight. The dream outfield really kind of gelling tonight. Boy, this could be real special for the next few years, couldn't it, with those 3 guys out there? It's looking good right now, especially tonight. And the starting pitching just continues to go out there and do a great job, shut the other team down. It was Jeff Locke tonight. I don't know if he could have done a better job. He got strikeouts, great command, a lot of ground balls tonight from Locke. You got to love that.
Ted Hurdle's Buccos defeat the Brew Crew. Look for the sweep tomorrow. A lot more to talk about. To the studio we go. Paul and Teague.